Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be sharing with you what is growing in my winter urban garden. Now, because we have a cooler season here in Arizona, not so much cold but a cooler season here specifically in Phoenix, there's a lot of stuff that you can still grow, a lot of greens and rooted vegetables that you can put in your garden and be able to harvest them in the next 30 days. Now, before I show you and get into the video, I'm going to share with you behind me some of the things that I am growing in my winter garden, as well as things that I'll be cutting back, as well as things that I'll be harvesting. Now, take a look behind me. You will see that I have my a grapevine right here. Now I've got two different varieties of grapevine. I don't remember what my second variety is, but my first variety is called the Flame Seedless Grape. Now, as you can see, it's pretty much died back and the leaves has fallen. Now, it's still alive, guys. It's in a dormant state, but I do need to go in here and trim and cut back and get rid of a lot of these extra branches that it has here, just down to two branches, and then giving it all the best nutrients I can in preparation for the upcoming spring. I'll be doing that to both of these to make sure that I have grapes on it this year. Now, last year I did harvest grapes on it, guys. They were delicious and they were sweet. I even allowed some of them to dry and they tasted like really delicious raisins. So I'm really wanting to put some effort and time into making sure that I harvest some delicious grapes again this coming spring and summer period. As you can see here, guys, I am also sharing with you my passion fruit vine. Now, this passion fruit vine has died back a little bit due to the heat of the summer, but it's coming back at full speed and it's looking green and healthy. I'm hoping that I'm going to get as much passion fruit this coming summer as I did last summer. Guys, I was able to jam some passion fruit and they were delicious. So I'm hoping that this year I'll be able to enjoy some more fruit. The wonderful thing about passion fruit, guys, it creates a great wall covering. They also produce, I think I just saw a bee going by me. They also produce really delicious, fragrant flowers when they're ready to be pollinated, and they smell very fragrant and rosy. So I love that smell, and I love to come out here and see the beautiful array of colors of passion fruit flowers, and they look gorgeous, guys. It's so gorgeous. A lot of the butterflies, a lot of the bees love to come and they're drawn by them. I also have a tomato plant here, guys, that I have covered. During the night, it gets a little bit cold and cooler than the day. And so I do have tomatoes that I am growing in a bucket here, and it's been growing since the summer, guys. You can grow tomatoes in buckets and they thrive and do great. But this one's in a bucket and it's still producing tomatoes here. Some of them are ripe and some of them are still green. I also looking forward to getting some blueberries. I've got two blueberries here. One's a pink lemonade blueberry, and I don't remember the other variety of blueberry that this one is. But guys, I'm looking forward to having some blueberries this year. I have been paying very close attention to the pH level because I want to make sure that my, because blueberries are very picky in that they like their soil acidity level, pH level to be between 4 to 5. So you really got to be on top of making sure that they're at the right pH level. I have tested the soil and it is a little bit high, and I've amended it by adding it some sulfur to help with that. So I keep checking it and trying to get down the pH level so that it's at its best place for the blueberries to produce. I do have some herbs as well that I'm growing further behind me over there. But I did want to at least give you guys an introduction as to some of the things that I am growing in the garden. Now keep on watching because I'll be sharing with you other things in the garden that is doing really great, that is producing, and I hope you guys get some inspiration. So just keep on watching. Here again, we have also some peppers, guys. I think these are jalapenos. I'm not sure what variety of spicy peppers are, but there are a lot of peppers, guys. Let me lift this up to show you. I'll be harvesting some of these to take to my Bible study today because I know some of the ladies there really like the jalapeno. So I'll be harvesting and selling some of these jalapenos peppers. But guys, there's so much peppers in there. It is hard. You gotta kind of dig through because they're all kind of like fold. They're so heavy that it's folded over. I also have some bell peppers. These are the short little bell peppers. There is a lot of peppers, guys. A lot of peppers. Sometimes it just looks like a bush, but it is really not a bush. It is a it's the green peppers, and they are everywhere, guys. So take a look. Everywhere. Some of these bell peppers, they are still ripening and they keep producing. When I say keep producing, do you see this little pepper right here? It is continuing to produce. This pepper tree has been doing really great. It hasn't been too much of a harsh winter, which I thank God because I don't want to lose these wonderful things. So I'll be harvesting some of these peppers and then I'll be taking them with me so that I can have. Guys, I've been trying my best to see if I can grow some pineapple here in Arizona. Believe it or not, here's one pineapple. There's a second one, and then there's a third one right back there, right underneath my not coconut. I'm saying I wish I could grow coconut here, but my sugarcane plant as well as my lemongrass. Guys, these are great for teas. The sugarcane, I've tried them. They are delicious. Here's another bunch of sugarcane that's here. Today I'll be harvesting my sweet potato, guys. I've been looking forward to this. My mom wasn't able to do it and she came this December, but we're gonna harvest this. And guys, right next to it is, take a look, pomegranate. Believe it or not, I still have pomegranate on the tree. I need to take those off and see which ones are really good and see if I can get rid of these because I do need to trim. I did trim back some of this tree when mom was here, but I do need to trim it back. As you can see, this branch is like way over here, but it's hanging because of these pomegranates. So I just have to trim it back and get it ready because it's gonna all grow back coming this summer. And then on your right, I have my middle garden here, which I'm going to show you in a minute, as well as my oregano, my basil, guys. I did not trim it back, so my basil has gone a little bit out of control, and it is overgrown. In one of my other small little container, I do have more tomatoes, and this one's a purple basil that's gone to seed, so I just got to cut it back and then have it'll come back. This one, again, these are all in containers, guys, in Arizona. I know they say that they don't survive, but it does survive. It's all about the soil, guys. It's all about the soil. I have all my tools ready to harvest my sweet potato. If I pin around to my right, guys, here is my tomato. I call it a tree now because it feels like it's a tree and less of a tomato vine. It's just growing. It's just growing out of control. And it is still harvesting, guys. It's still harvesting tomatoes. I'm going to give you a close-up of, I did not do a good job about trimming it back. So there's so many tomatoes that is growing on here that it's just out of control. I need to come in here and just trim it back a little bit because I do want to get bigger tomatoes, but because I haven't had time to trim it back, the tomatoes have been a little bit like growing out of control. And as you can see here on the side, take a look, guys. Do you see all this tomatoes? It is literally tomato heaven. Some of them are starting to turn, but guys, there are so much tomatoes. And this is, my pergola is about 10 feet. If I hadn't covered it up, it would already be 10 feet. This is a 7 feet garden bed, and 7.5, I would say, maybe 8 feet. But yeah, guys, it is producing. If I lift this up, because I had these covered as well, look at the sheer amount of tomatoes that is in the garden, guys. It is crazy. I do have 2 varieties here, the cherry tomato, which is one of them, and I also have on top of that the grape tomato. So as you can see, guys, Tomatoes are everywhere. When I say everywhere, I mean everywhere. Take a look. Take a look, guys. I mean, tomatoes are growing in every corner of this garden. It is just sheer a load of tomatoes. This tomato is growing so much that now it's growing on the ground. It's growing so much of these tomatoes. Look, guys, just look. It is producing and producing and producing. This tomato vine is just doing so amazing. I'm just going to lay this back down on the ground because of how much tomatoes it's producing. Look at that, guys. I mean, take a look. Do you see the sheer amount of tomatoes that are on here? Like, it is, there's so much tomatoes that I can't even, like, I'm just trying to see if I can continue to have this produce and make sure it produced during the summer. But look, guys, tomatoes on top of tomatoes on top of tomatoes on top of tomatoes. Some of them I can't even see because there's so much of them in here. But you can see my grape tomato. I think I just dropped one off that was just starting to turn. But take a look, guys. I mean, there are tomatoes on top of tomatoes on top of tomatoes. They are everywhere on every vine. And this is in the back end of it. Just take a look, guys. Take a look at all of that tomato. It's just constantly producing tomatoes. If I was to lift up this cover right here and just drop it to the left of me, if I was to lift up this vine, guys, look. Like, there's just so much tomato. So I'm going to go in here and harvest some more. I've been harvesting them pretty on a regular, meaning like every couple of days, because as soon as they turn, I'm starting to pick them because I know that the birds also likes them. So got a mix of cherry along with a mix of the grape tomato. So guys, look, some of these grape tomatoes are pretty big in size, while my cherry tomatoes is a little bit smaller. But like I said, as soon as I see that they're starting to turn, guys, as soon as I see that they're starting to turn, I just pick them. I pick them because once I put them with the other tomatoes, then they'll ripe up pretty fast, and I let them sit there until they're red. And when I take a bite in them, guys, they're so juicy. They are just so juicy, and they're just so juicy. Here's one of the grape tomatoes I was telling you about. Look at that, guys. And like I said, they are everywhere. There isn't a place where there is tomato. There's small ones growing in every nook and cranny. Every nook and cranny. Look here, guys. Do you see that? I see one hiding in there. And that's one. Here's one right here. And I do see a couple more in there. I'm gonna put these few down in my hands in my basket. And I'm gonna grab a couple more that's hiding under here. Look at that. And these. Guys, there's so much tomatoes. Take a look. You see that under there? Like, where aren't there any tomatoes? Look at that. There's a sheer amount of tomatoes. I'm just so blessed. I thank God that I'm able to grow all these tomatoes. And guys, that was not always the case. Let me tell you, I'm not the best tomato grower, but this year God has allowed it to be so abundant, and I'm just so thankful that it's been so abundant. And I've been sharing what I have with everyone so that my family and friends. Here's another one of my other tomato. I call it the plant now because it looks like this one's also competing with that one, which is there. And look at the bottom. This one is now the next one right next to it in this other raised bed that me and my sister built. And guys, look at this one. Do you see the tomatoes on here? Look. tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. Where isn't there a tomato? Even on the little side here, there are tomatoes. I've never grown this much tomatoes in my entire life. Never grown this much tomatoes. And they don't stop, guys. Look, do you see in here? Let me pan around to the other side to see if I can show you guys this side. Do you guys see the sheer amount of tomatoes that's hiding inside there? Inside there and the back there. I mean, guys, look. The tomatoes in here, look. And I actually had trimmed this one back. I trimmed this one back quite a bit, and I didn't thought it was going to come back around, but apparently I was wrong because it is returned and it is flourishing and doing amazing. Look at this, guys. This is on the same line. And inside here, do you see the sheer amount of tomatoes that this thing has on here? Like, I'm just so thankful to God I'm able to have this much tomatoes, because I'm definitely going to sell some as well as share with my family and friends. Wish you could all be able to be here to enjoy them with me. Guys, in the middle of the garden, I also planted some really delicious vegetables. As you can see, I've got some kale growing. I have to cover them up because sometimes the moth leaves little worms on them and caterpillars that eat them up. But here are all my when Mom came, we like devoured the Swiss chard. So there's a lot of Swiss chard that was cut back. I've got carrots growing. I've got the kale. I've got some more broccoli and what do you call it? I don't know why this is escaping my mind. Cabbage. Not cabbage, but cauliflower. Cauliflower as well as some broccoli here. Maybe this one's a cauliflower too. No, this is a cauliflower too. I do have in between planted onions to try to divert the critters, as well as some spinach that is growing in between. My carrots are doing great. I've already had some carrots. They're small, but they're delicious. And then I also have over here, guys, broccoli. Look at that. Broccoli. Some more broccoli that's coming. I do have more onions and more, I believe these are, I think they might be Brussels sprouts, maybe. I believe these to be Brussels sprouts. Let me see. Let me just confirm on that. Brussels sprouts, guys. Brussels sprouts. These are indeed Brussels sprouts. I do have to come in here and work the soil in a little bit. It's looking like it's looking a little hard. So I got to work it in. I got to cover this back up because these critters are no joke. And they will come and eat up all my veggies that I worked so hard in trying to grow. So I definitely come out here and I cover them up with this netting to keep them from being eaten by the critters. And then on this other side, I've got cabbage. I got cabbage that's trying to fold right now. I've got thyme. I've got some purple cabbage. I've got onions. I've got carrots. What else do I have? I've got some more Brussels sprouts, some lettuce, some of the purple lettuce. This one's starting to volt, so I really got to start to pick these and cut these back because I don't want it to go to seed right now. I want it to continue to produce. And then I've got some romaine lettuce here as well. I do have some peas growing, and it's doing really well. It's continuing to flower, guys. This is the sugar snap peas. And then I also have here some fava beans that is trying to grow up here. So I do want to plant a few more sugar snap peas because I love this thing. It's so delicious during the during this time of year. These are all stuff that that you can grow. The Swiss chard, the cabbage, the onions, the carrots, the kale. All of these are really great. I have some more onions that I've planted here as well. And over here I have this container with some herbs, which I drink sage tea, oregano tea, and I do have lemon balm that's right here, as well as stevia. There's 3 stevia plants right there. But guys, these are delicious as teas, and they are good. This one's an oregano, Italian oregano, and this one is all lavender. So lavender is trying to come back, guys. Here's the other side of that pomegranate tree. I've covered up as much as I can. My figs, they usually will lose all their leaves and die back, and then during the summer it just comes back like crazy. So I'll be looking forward to some more figs and making some more fig jams. I've cut back on my orange tree because I'm really wanting to really work on producing more oranges from this orange. I do have another orange tree in the corner over there, which I did not show you guys, but I will show you that before I leave. And that's an avocado tree as well as an orange tree growing over there. So I'm looking to see if I can grow some avocado and orange tree over there. I do have my mulberry tree, guys. As you can see, it has died back. And then underneath this blanket here, I do have a plant called Chico Sapote, and this one is a tropical plant, guys. It makes the most delicious fruit. I kept it covered because I did not want to have it suffer during the little frost that we have. I have a lot of mulch underneath there, but I also have the tips of them covered because I do want to really work on getting this to produce some fruit this coming summer. But guys, it's hiding under there, and I'm looking forward to some fruit from that one. Here I have my one little flower plant. I'm going to work on adding more flowers in the garden, guys. Here's my other raised bed. I do have another sugar snap peas that's climbing up my summer spinach here. And look, guys, I have more lettuce. I have more Swiss chard. Lettuce, Swiss chard. I've got some kale growing in between, a lot as well as some celery that's growing in here. Guys, my celery is doing so really good. I'm really happy about my celery. Behind here hiding is a cabbage. What else do we have in here? Some spinach, more celery, more. I feel like I need to add. There's way too many empty spaces in here, guys, but I'll be adding a lot more veggies in here. I've planted some seeds, some other veggies that I would like. Some of the Olympian spinach, which is a really large leaves spinach, which I love them. It's like one of the leaves are like the size of my head. Here's more of the celery. Another one, my purple cabbage that's trying to fold, and kale and lettuce and purple lettuce. And here's another one of my broccoli, guys, in the back here. I think this one's another Brussels sprouts. It's coming out. And then look, guys, I don't think I showed you. Underneath here is my cauliflower. You see that? Right? And then here, guys, I've had this Brussels sprout tree growing for the last 2 years now. Do you see this? Brussels sprout. It's not even dying. And the trunk, let me just show you my finger. Like, my finger wraps around it. I can't even touch I barely touch my index finger and my thumb. But look, it's still producing. It's still producing, guys. Brussels sprouts, which I've had, and they are delicious. I've had Brussels sprouts from here, and they are delicious. So it's still producing Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts are great to grow right now because it's cool season crop, and they love this type of weather. So I'm going to cover this back up because, guys, like I said, these little moths tend to want to lay their little eggs, and then before you know it, I have a whole bunch of caterpillars trying to eat all of my stuff. So I just want to cover that back up, keep them protected. And then I do have a cloth over it in case I need it. But these have been doing really great, even though it dropped to 30. The temperature's back up. I'm sure it's in the 50s right now. What else do I have here? I have in this one. This one's called a watermelon radish, which it looks like the inside of a watermelon. But this is the first time growing those. I have tried growing, which I've planted here. So these are also great to enjoy and plant right now. This is the season for it. I also got some French radishes. I tried French radish growing them last year, and they got pretty good size, and they were delicious. They have a little bit of a spice to them, but they are delicious. I also I'm growing some turnips, guys. As you can see, some of them are starting to come through come through quite a bit. So I know there's more that are here, but as you can see, what's kicking out right now is the French radish. It is doing amazing, amazing, guys, amazing. So I am excited about that. I'm looking forward to having some more French radishes again this coming spring. So that is exciting, guys. Over here, I do have a cherry tree that I've been trying to keep alive. It's a tropical cherry. It's a Barbados cherry, and I have it covered up because I'm like, I want some cherries this summer. So I'm gonna try. It's doing really, really good, but I'm gonna try my very, very best to see if I can grow some Barbados cherry this coming summer because I love cherries. I used to grow up eating these cherries when I was a kid, so I'm looking forward to enjoying some Barbados cherry. Right now, I think it's about almost 5 feet tall, and it's in here. When I have it covered, I do have my greenhouse, which I've started planting some things. I will be planting a few more things in my greenhouse to prepare for the upcoming summer. So I've got to get in here and give all this wonderful stuff some water because it's looking like some of my stuff needs a little bit of water. I try not to overwater and monitor, make sure that everything's doing really good, but I'll definitely have to come in here and try to just do some maintenance in here today, guys. But in the back end here, guys, I've got some more herbs growing, which is English thyme, lemon thyme, and I've got also some more celery that's growing along with it. So it's doing really, really good, guys. The garden is still producing, even in January. Yes, guys, January. So this is so amazing. Guys, here's another one of the sorrel trees. There's still, like I said, some sorrel left on there, and these ones I'm just going to dry. I don't think I'll be making any more sorrel jams for in January, and then I will plant these and get them ready to be transplanted in their new location. I did plant some more greens here, more collard greens, guys, so that's looking really good. And then look, guys, I still have my eggplant. Like, my eggplant is still alive. It is still producing flower. Like, do you guys see how amazing this is? It's producing flower. It's producing flower. It's producing flower, guys. It's still producing flower in January. In January. I'm telling you guys, look at that. Look at my eggplant. It is producing flower. So I do have one on here that I'm going to harvest. Do you see that, guys? It's a good size. It's a good size eggplant. But I'll be harvesting it. And it's still hanging on there, even though the weather's dropped a little bit. So I'll be harvesting it. Let me show you when I hold it. It's pretty big, guys. It's a pretty big one. Put my hand right next to it. That's what it's looking like. So I'll be enjoying that eggplant. I've been harvesting and eating them, and since the weather's changed, it's kind of slowed down growing a little bit. I do have another eggplant tree growing in here, but it is a little bit it's the long skinny ones, not these ones. And guys, look here. I even see down here my other okra. My other okra, guys. This one's an okra that's growing from the base of my other okra tree, and at the top you can see, guys, they already harden, and then I have to pick these for seed, but this is still growing okra down at the bottom. Crazy, right? But not, because our soil makes the difference. And again, this is the other 2 sorrel trees or roselle plants that are growing, and I just have to harvest these calices for either jam whatever I can, but then most of it I think I'll be just drying them out so that I can save them for juicing, which I made an amazing juice. My mom taught me how to do that, so that is amazing. Here, guys, I was telling you I have my orange tree covered up. This is new in the garden, And then I also have an avocado tree under here, guys. I'm trying to keep it covered because of the frost. I really want to produce some avocados. And guys, look, do you see this new leaf that it's producing? It's healthy. It's a healthy avocado tree, and it's doing really, really good. It's probably maybe about 3.5 to 4 feet tall. But look, guys, it is doing amazing. Let me just lift this up real quick so you guys can see underneath it. It is doing amazing. So is my orange tree right here. This orange tree is still alive. It's a navel orange. I'm looking forward to eating some navel orange this coming summer. But guys, look, this is my garden, and I hope that sharing all of these wonderful garden items in the garden will encourage you really to start investing in yourselves and being healthy and trying to grow stuff that will be a benefit to you and your family. And you'll find that, guys, once you kind of figure it out how to get going, it'll become a lot easier over time. So don't give up. Keep trying, guys. Your garden is gonna get there. So this is just to share the update for 2029. Like I said, I'll be having more stuff that I'll be putting that I'll be sharing, more stuff that I'll be putting in the garden, that I'll be sharing what I'm planting in the summer for this January time frame, so that you guys can also plant your stuff. Plant and eat what you grow, guys. Plant and eat what you grow. Somehow, I forgot to mention, I believe these are either Swiss chard, or they may be potentially bok chows. I'm not sure, guys. These somehow fell out of this raised bed last summer, and it started growing. So guess what? I'm letting it grow, and then either I'm gonna pick from it and eat from it and let it continue to grow here, but I'm not gonna mess with it. Mother Nature, God had it planned for it to be here, so I'm gonna let it grow there and harvest from it when I can. But that's it, guys. That is the update from the garden. I hope this has been fun for you guys to watch and educational for you guys to watch, so that you guys too can grow your own gardens. Thank you, everyone, for joining. As always, I appreciate all the support. If you like my videos, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and as always, we'll see you next time.